All right, so in this unit, we are going to look at what happens when we do some transformations on functions. Okay, so we're going to have basically four different transformations that we're going to look at. In this first one, we are going to look at um, reflection and dilation. And then in the next learning task, we're going to look at horizontal shifts and vertical shifts. Um, and we're going to basically explore two different functions when it comes to this, one of which you're very familiar with, the old quadratic we've been working on. And then we're also going to talk about square root, which is a little bit different than all the other functions that we've been talking about. So first of all, let's recall what the parent functions look like. So parent functions means the most basic. Okay, that's what a parent function. So the most basic quadratic is y equals x squared. Okay, and so the parabola, the basic parabola for y equals x squared has its vertex at 0, 0. And then I'm not going to go into too much detail here. You'll understand where these points come from later. But basically, it ends up, so we've got a point at negative 1, 1 and a point at positive 1, 1. We have a point at negative 2, 4 and a positive 2, 4. And then we have a point at negative 3, 9, and we have a point at positive 3, 9. And here's what our basic parabola looks like, that nothing has happened to it yet. It's just the basic one. Now, the square root function, which is y equals the square root of x, this one is different than all the other functions in this course because its domain is not all real. So let's remember that domain is left to right. With a parabola, all these values here on the left-hand side, they would all have an output. 0 has an output, and all the values on the right-hand side would have an output. You can't see them on this graph. They'd be way up here somewhere. But even so, they're all there. That's not true of the square root function. The square root function, the negative values don't have any outputs. So they're not part of the domain. Reason why is you can't take the square root of a negative number. So the square root function has a point at 0, 0, has a point at 1, 1. The next nice point is at 4, 2. And then after that is 9, 3. And then the next one would be off this graph. So the square root function, the most basic one, kind of looks like this. It's a curve. It's actually the quadratic curve turned on its side. So if you took this and turned it on its side and then cut out the bottom piece, that would be a square root function. So they're kind of related in a weird sort of way. All right, so what we want to do is we want to examine how we can transform these functions. Well, so for this particular learning task, we're only going to look at the a value. Remember that the a value is in front of the x squared, or in the case of the square root function, it would be in front of the square root sign. So two things can happen with that a value. One is it can be positive or negative, and the other is it can either be between 0 and 1, or it can be greater than 1. So this should be review, because we talked about this with quadratics way back in, I think it was module 1. So let's see what happens here. If a is positive, the function is basically normal. Okay, so there's no change if a is positive. But if a is negative, it's reflected over the x-axis. It's flipped. So in the case of, like, let's say a quadratic, it would be concave down. If a is positive, which we talked about in the last unit, it would be concave up. So you actually already know this stuff. Now, what about its value? What about the actual number? Well, we talked about this earlier in the course. If it's between 0 and 1, like 1/2 or 3/4 or 5/8, then what happens is the function actually gets wider. okay? So like that might be a parabola that gets real wide. And if the number is greater than 1, like 2 or 3 or 10, then it gets narrower. So that would be like a really skinny parabola. And you can have any combination of this. You could have concave up and wider, concave up and narrower. You could have concave down and wider, concave down and narrower. So let's take a look at what this actually looks like in an example. So here's an example. How would the graph of f of x equals negative 2/5 x squared differ from that of f of x equals x squared? So in other words, let's look at what's different. Well, this is different right here. A here is negative 2/5. So what does that do? Well, the negative sign reflects it over the x-axis. And in parentheses, I'm going to put concave down. You wouldn't say concave up or concave down for the square root function. You would only say concave up or concave down for the quadratic, because that's the only one where it makes sense. So that is because of the negative sign. But what about the 2/5? Well, the 2/5 makes it wider. So we would just write wider. And these bullet points are fine. I've got no issue with that. And that's basically it. That's how the a value affects these functions.